Look, I suggest something. Let's do something different here. Instead of dissecting this Packers game, I know it wasn't fun, okay? Assigning blame and figuring out what to tear down. I think we need to be smart. I think we need to realize where we should be. We should be thankful for this game. This game gave us the right perspective. We're arguing about what to do because we were never an elite team in any area this year. That's right, I said it. We are not elite. Bottom line, the Bears, we've gone from the worst team in the league, and NBC Sports Chicago supports this. We've gone from the worst team in the league with a 3-14 record to the NFL's middle class at 7-9 with a chance to hit 8 wins coming into Lambeau Field. That's all this game was, people. A chance to get to 8 wins. It didn't mean anything besides that. So let's get it right. We are now a mediocre team. Instead of a terrible one, we're a mediocre team. Let's applaud that. Let's be happy. But we are talking like we are one player away here or there to be elite, that we would go to the Super Bowl next year, or that there was some type of expectation to be a great team this year. That was never the case. Let's look at the numbers here. If you don't believe me, bear with me here. The Bears offense, we finished the season 11th in points per drive, 14th in yards per drive, 12th in third down percentage, 13th in red zone percentage. Like I said, mediocre. Not one player, quarterback, or receiver away from being elite. So let's quit acting like it. But we were 20th in turnover percentage. We were a turnover machine. That is not okay. The Bears' offense, though, overall wasn't bad by any stretch of the imagination. We just need to fix the turnovers, and that is possible. It's not even simply a quarterback change away. That's what I'm saying. After years of neglect under Pace, that's right, I said Ryan Pace. Let's forget about him. We started with a bare cupboard, though. We started with a bare cupboard to fill, and now we're quibbling impatiently about individual players, about individual changes, but we're not seeing this clearly at all. The Bears' offensive line against Green Bay. They didn't just let Justin Fields down, they let the whole team down. It's the main component that needs fixing, not the quarterback. We aren't focused here and just following something shiny, arguments that the team problem is the quarterback. I don't believe that's the case. Fields, he was under duress the whole game, right? While his counterpart Jordan Love, right? He had all day in the pocket. Fields, he was sacked 5 times on the day. The interior of offensive line, it was the biggest concern, including most notably Tevin Jenkins. He had his worst game of the season, perhaps the worst game of his career. We're talking like he is the answer, and this game shows that he might not be. Nate Davis, he left the game with an injury. And Cody Whitehair, he is getting ancient. We need to replace him. He is not someone that's going to be an every down player. He's a rotational piece at best. It's clear about something. It's clear Chicago needs to address center and guard this offseason as our number one priority, not quarterback. Let's build on the quarterback. We were always not going to be competitive yet. This game is a gift. It's a blessing. It's showing us now that we weren't close yet at all. We still aren't. Let's look at our team defensively as well. Defensively, we are 16th in points per drive, 10th in yardage, 3rd in turnover percentage. That's really good. But elsewhere, even with the surge of the second half of the season, we are still mediocre. We were 29th on third downs, 31st in the red zone. If you were watching the Green Bay game, the problem wasn't just offensive efficiency. We could have done better offensively. I get it. We only scored 9 points, but the defense, they could not get off the field third down after third down after third down. You just can't win with that, people. We're still not there defensively either. We, the whole team, 2 years into a full rebuild, and we got to have patience. We got to build and not tear this thing down. So if Matt Eberflus, if he keeps his job, if he fires Luke Getsy, there should still be serious questions about the defense as well. So how do we fix these problems? Clean house and start all over everywhere? Is that what we do? Or do we give the whole team an honest assessment and realize we were not there across the board to begin with? We're a year from competing, and we simply have to keep building. Maybe this loss is a blessing. Maybe it's showing us that not even our defense is a finished product. We aren't just a defensive end away to pair with Sweat. Let's talk about Getsy. One thing is for sure, this coaching staff was not ready for Green Bay. Perhaps the favor of this game, what it did was show that they need to be replaced. Getsy once again. He wasn't prepared to face the Packers. He did his best to take the ball out of Justin Fields' hands and once again shows he's incapable of making adjustments. Justin Fields started out 6 for 6. Then he was no longer asked to pass. That's a huge problem. Getsy struggled as a play caller. Through his 2 seasons as Chicago's offensive coordinator, he has struggled as a play caller. But this should be his final game with us. Whether or not that happens remains to be seen. But Getsy, he is not an offensive coordinator. He's incapable of it. This is an argument here. I'm not going to be a full Fields apologist, though, but we have a common argument given by those that want him out of town. So let's hear that. Have you heard this before? If you need perfect, fantastic play calling to become elite at QB, then you aren't an elite talent. That's what people say all the time. I'm not here for that view. I don't believe it. Offensive play calling, that can make or break. Look at so many QBs, but let's look at someone like Alex Smith. He was the number 1 pick in the draft. He never really popped. He always looked like a bust. Him and Tua, they're both great examples of how a play caller can make someone elite. Fields has all the tools. And if you go back to Alex Smith, he was never considered to be a great quarterback until he got under the play calling of Andy Reid. That's how he really popped. So let's move on to Fields. He has all the tools, but if he had top flight play calling, he would be elite. We'd not even be having this conversation. So should he make a statement at coach? Sorry for that. I have a cold I'm fighting, so bear with me. So should Poles make a huge change at coach? Or is this simple fact the truth? Our coaches, they're working with a team in really year 1 after a full teardown, and the talent level, it's not there yet across the board. Get rid of Getsy, sure, for someone more experienced, and we're good. Better question. Do we want to be like the Commanders right now on Black Monday? Do we want to be on our 3rd head coach since 2019? Let's take a deep breath and move into this offseason with open eyes. So number 1, Poles must decide. He must decide if he wants to retain Matt Eberflus as head coach. I still think he should. After an 0-4 start this season, you remember 0-4, Eberflus, his seat started to heat up, even though he had only coached 21 games for the team, 17 of them in full tank mode. Let's give a fair assessment here. His first 17 games were in full tank mode. There was absolutely no hope of winning that first season. A 14-game losing streak that can cause anyone to panic, though. But not Coach Flus, not our front office. Like Poles, Eberflus, he stuck to his process and he stuck to his principles. He took over play calling for the defense when defensive coordinator Williams, he took his leave, a personal leave, is that what it was, from the team in week 2. I don't mean to laugh, but it was a little more than that. He saw what he had, not a finished product. There was not one player away. He looked at the defense and he's like, I need some help here. I don't have the players that I need. So he called a more aggressive game plan. He used creative personnel groups. He dipped into dime packages on 3rd down. He did all of these things to play to his team's strengths and cover up our weaknesses. We've lost sight of the fact that this team has weaknesses across the board. There were and still are many weaknesses in personnel still. He remained the same coach no matter the circumstances, though. We should love that. I love that. Players, they appreciated the even keel approach. It was assuring to know what to expect and how they would be evaluated on a weekly basis. They weren't going to be evaluated that Chicago is immediately a Super Bowl team. We are a building team. Eberflus, he preached that they'd start to see good results if they kept working diligently and stayed the course. And guess what? That's what happened. That's what rose these expectations this year. Sure enough, things started to turn. When Sweat joined the team, the defense, it took off. Now they boast the number 1 run defense and lead the league in interceptions. That is a great thing. The progress is palpable, but we need to build on this. Keep Flus, let him continue to lead us. Continue to acquire players and put someone at the offensive helm, someone that's not Getsy, someone that has done this before. Put them at the helm, let them call plays. And then in the meantime, we can just continue to reap the benefits of continuity. I think it's important to know coming into this season, we were not winning anything. We are 1 year after a full teardown. And now, when the defense surged, when we started winning games, when we got on this win streak, all of a sudden expectations are through the roof. And we have this huge letdown, this huge disappointment losing to Green Bay. We still have Fields. He has done everything that this coaching staff has asked him to. He is exactly on the trajectory that was laid out for him, and we need to stay the course. Even though this loss to Green Bay hurts so much, we need to stay the course. You guys let me know what you think, like and subscribe. Let's continue to go back and forth in the comments and really appreciate you. Bear down and let's enjoy this offseason.